Hey everybody, welcome back to another Honcast.com presentation. I am Phil, going to be your shoutcasting host, and joining me is the one, the only, TobiWanKenobi from GameStar. How you doing today, Toby?
I am possibly as excited as I was at 3 a.m. in the morning when we actually had the grand final last night. This is insane, dude. Like, TSG have just come up against the massive favourites of Druids. They've shut down their farming. They've shut down their movement. But can they do it twice? That's the question going through. These guys, literally, at the end of the last game, they all went off for both in their big group huddles. Now, we have got the inside information coming out from TSoG. They want to do exactly the same thing. They want Wretched Hag. They want to actually pick up Demented Shaman. They want to restrict the movement again. That's what they're going to go with. They want to try and shut down Lolder's farming and just basically play it from there.
Well, I talked to Henry G shortly before their match for the first round, and he said that they had a set strategy in mind and that they were going to stick to that no matter what. And I mean, last round it seemed to work for them.
Yeah.
So they knew right away that because they were going to be taking Fade out of the game, because they were going to be taking a few other key heroes. I mean, take a look at this. We actually see Pebbles banned. I know someone in IRC called that earlier because of how dominant their Pebbles performance was last game.
They'd have to.
But I mean, we've seen Loda play that electrician, so they're really going to they're going to force him to try to take that Soul Stealer because they lost their hard carry after yesterday. So Loda's being forced to play that hard carry role this game, and unfortunately, he doesn't seem to really have a good grasp on Heroes of Newerth carrying. Because, he is relatively fresh into the Han scene, coming from, he's got a lot of fans, obviously, from the Dota community. But, as far as Heroes of Newerth is concerned, he hasn't fully embraced the game yet. So he's got quite a bit of learning to do, and I think they're really, really trying to bait that Soul Stealer pick once again, hoping that he'll go that route so that way they know what they have to do to counter him. If they don't go that way, though, we could be looking at a whole new ball game. And there we see Demented Shaman, very first pick coming out. But let's go over the bans real quick. Usually you do this, but I'm going to do it instead because I'm selfish. We have Engineer, Fade, imagine that, Fade. Zephyr, Accursed, Pebbles, and Electrician. So, I mean, like I said, Electrician ban, one of those heroes that Loda does play quite often, and he's banned. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on this ban?
I'm pretty sure they took out a curse. I'm thinking at the end of this one, like, I was wondering exactly what would be going through Drew's mind. And I'm thinking they're thinking either we go massively aggressive, we try and actually play TSG's game, and it'll be an absolute, they're definitely showing it first up as a bit of a pushing power through Hellbringer as well as Glacius. But removing off that ban, you don't want to have that dual lane of the Soul Reaper as well as guys. You don't want to see that kind of jazz. It's just buckle down, take it off there. But you notice that didn't work for them last time either. They got restricted in movement. They couldn't move out and farm. They took out those towers. They pushed them back. They waited for the right times to do that as well. And I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Pestil's actually coming up now too, another ganking hero. They've combined it with Chipper. If we actually see a Plague Rider come out right now, I feel very, very sorry for the person who actually has to play that hero. Chipper literally eats Plague Riders for breakfast on this one, with Fruit Loops and the whole shebang. Even sugar on top of that one, because it is just so sweet. But they're coming into these last picks now. Hydra and Henry have 2 more left to go. They said they want a Wretched Hag. They still want to come up with a little bit more... like Wretched Hag, it's going to do well for them, but it's a lot of DPS coming out. But what are we going to see from Druids? They've still got another 3 heroes to pick up here. They've gone for 2 support heroes straight off the cuff. Are they going to go another support? Are they going to go aggressive? They've gone aggressive. Predator coming out. Who's going to be their last one? Predator's literally that mid-late game carry, but is still reliant on farm. And Arachna's now come out now. Arachna we were half expecting. Should go up to actually Lauder as well. They banned Arachna last time. This is almost... I feel like TSG are funneling the picks just from their bench, just from their own picks. They're forcing this to actually happen, and they actually haven't swapped them just around just yet. So Lord might not actually be taking Arachna here. There we go. Has actually swapped now. And so he's going to want to roam. He's going to want to farm. I'm really expecting a lot of money going into boards, a lot of money actually going into the map control here from Druids to try and combat what we've seen come out so well. And our last hero is Behemoth. And... Behemoth Valk coming out. What fantastic lineup for ganking, fantastic lineup for setting up the big group battles as well, and just pushing these guys back. And they've gone for a Tempest as well, so maybe even going to run a 2 solo out here. Druids, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how aggressive and how well they're going to keep up here with TSG.
Well, I think we're probably going to, It's difficult to say. We're probably going to see I'd say probably it's going to be Hellbringer in a solo lane. It's going to have to be. I mean, they're going to. Normally, I might say we might see actually Predator swapping to Loda. So Loda's going to be playing that Predator. That's going to be very very interesting. Loda, in my opinion, it's going to be difficult because he doesn't have really that reputation of being a great ricer. I mean, playing a hero like Soulstealer, you don't really have to rely on your abilities to last hit, and you know what I mean, be good positioning. Basically, you just got to get out there and hope that no one ganks you, and then throw a couple demon hands out, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you got 300 easy gold or 200 easy gold. But I mean, we do see Papa Dre picking up that Valkyrie once again. He just played him absolutely phenomenally last game, so I'm looking forward to seeing more. I mean, could we have a rival kind of player for Trixie's Valkyrie? I got to say, I mean, maybe not at that level, but I was very, very impressed with Papa Drake's play last time away. They did take that Glacius away from him, and that I think might be a key factor. Although you did say that they were looking to pick up that Diminished Shaman from the beginning, so perhaps they were baiting that Glacius pick on the other side.
I think they were. I think a lot of stuff is actually happening here, which I don't think DrDz is realizing. I don't think a lot of people are actually realizing here. TSG, they've come in and they've gone, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stick to our strat. We don't care about anything else. And look at this, straight here from DrDz. They've got 4 heroes down inside the Legion neutrals. Hopefully Shaman doesn't run into this one. They've literally turned around what TSG wanted to do before. They're going to run themselves around, and they're going around the Pestilence as well as Shaman. I'm not quite sure. I don't think Shaman would have actually had the vision from that one, but there's actually 1, 2, 3 heroes already up here, and Wing Courier almost going down here from Valk as well. They have managed to find Pestilence. Pestilence gets the impel, still falling back. All 4 heroes on the back of him. Pestilence will go down. It is rather ironic that actually happened, considering Pestilence was the first one to go down, except he was actually in the hands of DrDz last time.
Well, I mean, that Bloodlust kill there right as the game starts, I mean, that is so important for getting that early farm. And Ixu playing out Arachna, that's really going to help him out. I mean, if he can, I'm not sure, I haven't checked his items yet, what he actually got. But I mean, right now, he could be looking at 1 to 2 free kills, and he could already have some boots, or he could be going for a bottle build early on. I mean, you could get that almost immediately, and that will really increase his presence here as he takes over the middle lane.
Yeah, that definitely could. And he has actually gone for the Agi, so the Duck Boots on top of the Arachna, so just trying to increase that attack speed, increase that damage. Tempest actually moving around with the Invisor in the middle here, so DrDz wanting to actually make a bit more of a move here. Chipper is actually doing very defensively, and that's what he has to do. He can't move up too far. He is actually now moving up. Tempest might make the most of this one. No, he's still not wanting to make the most of that rune right now. Might make the most of the bottom here, as Glacius is coming around from behind, harassing that Pestilence back here. Shaman and Pestilence, not quite sure who they're going to target. In the end, the call does come out to actually try and go for that Glacius. Glacius, though, retreating back into the woods, and you can't really do much from that one. I'm loving how much harassment Shaman is putting on Loader, literally just trying to push him back from the creep wave. Don't get those last hits in there. If you do that, then literally Predator's going to have an absolute field day. He'll get himself farmed up, and he'll be a worse nightmare later on in the game. But both heroes harassing, just keeping it on there. I don't think I've actually seen really Shaman even go for the creeps here, allowing Pestilence to do the rest. He's kept the pressure on here, and actually Hellbringer, he can't get the pull. Look at the ward up there from TSoG. He was wanting that 130 pull. He's not going to get it. And one lane we actually haven't even looked at yet is the double stun lane of the Valk and Behemoth up there on the top, and of course going up there against the Hellbringer. That is not a nice solo. That fissure can come out so easily. The arrow can come on the back of it too. The Hellbringer can't get himself up to level 6 easily on that lane.
Yeah, I mean, looking around at just the ward placement, I mean, it is kind of surprising to see that TSoG did not choose to put a ward in their own jungle. I mean, when the enemy team has a Tempest, you really got to play it like that, I believe. I think that you got to at least have something up in your jungle, even if it's just at basically the rune spot. You got to be able to watch that area to make sure that Tempest is not coming up behind you and ganking you. Yeah,
you're definitely right, because we did talk about ward control actually coming off in this one. Like DrDz, they're stopping that pull, actually keeping an eye on that pull while the pull's actually still respawning there, but they're also keeping an eye on the movement coming back down towards that Tempest as well, so he is actually safe. Shaman wanting to come around the side here. Predator is still in the mix. He does come up high, and then he just has a bit of a crack there, pushing him back, but is Tempest going to come from the side? Yes, he is. They're going to get the stuns. They're going to get Shaman down. He overcommitted, and they've got to do something about that Tempest. They cannot continue to try and keep this bottom lane going, or else they'll sit back at the tower. Pestilence will get no farm whatsoever, and there's got to be a change up. There has got to be a change up. We must see the boys on the Legion side adapt to this?
Well, I mean, it's going to be difficult because the only real way to adapt to that is going to be to buy wards. But unfortunately, when you got to constantly worry about that, it's hard to get into creep range and get that extra gold because, wards aren't free. They cost money. And to be able to get that, you got to obviously get those creep kills. So I think what they really got to do is kind of change up, maybe even look at a lane swap here.
Yeah, maybe even throw a bit of a Valk down the bottom there to actually try. You can even throw out a random javelin every now and then and just hope for the best. Tempest looks like he's here to actually stay now, actually picking up a bottle and grabbing that DD rune from the bottom. So he's all about that extra damage coming out, because if you have him around there, he's actually left now. So after that one, they've brought 3 heroes down that actually combat that one. Behemoth even coming on down, and now the bottom lane falling back from that one. So perfect timing for DrDz to actually fall back there. You couldn't have planned that even more perfectly. Bottom lane though, it keeps pinging up. They want to go for it. Shaman's going to come through. They need that Fissure to hit, but Predator not moving down far enough. Lolder coming on through. Predator taking the bait, and the Fissure locks him in. He's got nowhere to go. They're going to hit him on down. Tempest has rejoined that bottom lane, though. Predator's actually, Shaman's going to go down first. Behemoth is frozen. Pestilence coming on down. He is literally chasing Lolder and leaving his teammate to die. And now we're actually playing a game called Left 4 Dead, as now he comes back and Impel comes through. Glacius and Tempest do get stunned. The speed will get him back, though. But 4 quick kills coming through the DrDz side, and they were definitely ready for this match. They're definitely ready to kick it off, and well, they've come out guns firing. And Tempest, I thought he was gone, but he came back just at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, DrDz really playing this to a T. They are making the best of every situation they've been put in thus far. I mean, that Fissure stun very well placed as far as being able to lock him in, but at the same time, I mean, they really probably need that stun damage as well to finish him off. Here's the Fissure now on the Tempest. He's going to be able to get the stun off on Pestilence. Yes, he is. 2 stuns coming off now. I don't know if it's going to be enough as Pestilence activates that flight ability. It is. They are going to choose to back off there, but they really need to do some counter warding, or at least some warding of their own to shut this Tempest down.
Yeah, they've got to do something about it. You can't literally run it this way. Of course, big props to at the moment. Chipper hasn't even left that middle lane. Valk's done the same sort of thing. So while this is happening, while they are literally running those 3 heroes rampant on that bottom lane and keep getting these kills, we're still seeing the farm coming up for the 2 big heroes. So we're looking at Chipper, we're looking at Valk to actually take the initiative here for the Legion side. And DrDz are still sitting on the back there just going, well, we're getting these kills, we're still getting the farm up here, but it is still coming at a bit of a thing. As coming on through, the rockets flying on down to Tempest. They've walked past the TG ward. The stun's still coming off through. Tempest gets the stun off there. The double stun comes off, and now he will fall himself back there. Even the courier coming on down, giving that extra vision to actually wash that Chipper, and now Chipper's in a bit of trouble because those conversions hitting on the back of him, and they do a hell of a lot of damage there.
Yeah, especially for being early game. I mean, you talk about only 30 damage per, but when you got 6 of them, I mean, that's a ton of damage to be coming out at you all at once, especially early on in the game when the heroes don't have a whole lot in the way of health pools. But, Arachna, she's actually... she's not done too bad here in the middle lane. It seems like it's pretty even, 16 and 15 for her, so really hitting up those denies. And Chipper going 18 and 12. So Chipper, actually looks like Chipper is at the disadvantage here. So, getting out leveled here by leaving Arachna alone, so allowing Arachna to get some of that free farm, increasing her mana, or not her mana, but her gold. I mean, she really needs to look, or they really need to look to stop that, because Arachna, one of those heroes that is farm dependent, but as she approaches, now that she's level 6, she can really look to follow up into some of those other lanes and really put the hurt on. That spider just does so much damage early on in the game.
Yeah, it definitely does too. And of course, Chipper actually trying to take a bit of a gamble, going down towards that bottom lane, having a homecoming zone to get himself back towards that middle. But they look for the Fissure to come off. But great play coming out here from DrDz, actually keeping tabs, knowing what's actually happening, and those 3 heroes still moving around that bottom lane. Shaman, Behemoth, as well as Pestilence. They haven't left that bottom lane, but we're also seeing Shaman holding back a little bit, as well as Behemoth, just trying to get those stuns in there, as Lotta thinking about coming through. Glazier's caught on the side as well. We might even see, look at that courier still flying in now, keeping that vision. Glazier's now coming on down, thinking about Behemoth. They're going to go for Pestilence. Pestilence gets the impale off, slows them down. Malphas comes up from the ground. They were not ready for that one. Hellbringer's now down the bottom, and Pestilence still alive. Impale stun goes off, still in there, taking the tower was Lolder. TSG has managed to actually bring down one. It's not over just yet. Lolder's still coming through. Behemoth actually staying alive until Hellbringer comes on down. Malphas is still up, forcing the Valk to actually come back. What support coming in from him? Shaman, he's going to be the only one left alive there on the bottom lane to try and deal with it, but was actually coming down. Tempest is on his way down. Easy going to spot Valk. Valk was having a bit of a go there with the creep push coming on through, and Malvis even just pulling up those Legion creeps just up a little bit high here, but the heroes now respawning, and I think that's actually the first battle here where TSG actually were even par for that one.
Well, I mean, they ended up coming out on top. I mean, 2 hero kills to 1, so you got to give them props for that. Obviously, Pestilence did a great job of being able to survive through that whole thing, and landed some pretty key stuns as well as the support from Demented Shaman. So this TSG team has done a wonderful job of supporting each other when they can. Unfortunately, that was the first time that they've actually had the ability to support one another, as we still have quite a few heroes here grouped down at the bottom, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something else happen, but it looks like Glacius might be making his way back towards the middle lane. Maybe doing a little bit of counter warding here. He actually places a site right next to this other warder site here, watching over that weak creep camp. And now Behemoth looking for some way to get in. I'm not sure if they saw him or not, or if he saw whatever. But now Valkyrie taking quite a bit of damage. There's a stun hour, however, it's not going to hit anybody. She's going to leap away with barely any health. Is she going to be able to survive? Actually, 49 health. Looks like she's going to be pretty good. There's a death boil being put on by Hellbringer. Now Glacius looking to freeze Pestilence, looking to stop that stun. He's going to go back in here anyway. They are going to be able to get the kill off on him, but now Demented Shaman taking quite a bit of harass from Hellbringer, so he's going to have to get on out of there. And wow, this bottom lane has just been nothing but action thus far. Now Tempest, he's trying to get away here from Chipper, and there's Arachna putting the slow on into him. The Fissure stun comes out, but not really going to be any way to follow up on that, as Chipper is now just level 6, and those rockets, I mean, they still do quite a bit of damage. He is going to be able to hit Chipper, going to stop that port. If he's going to be able to catch up to him, there's one more rocket coming out. It's going to hit him here. One or two more should be able to do it. I don't know if he's got the mana for it. Yes, he does, but not going to choose not to come out with that. So really great job there by Chipper, playing very, very well, getting some of those clutch rockets out.
Yeah, he was actually waiting for the 3 rockets to have a bit of a go, just in case Tempest did actually hang around. Now they're coming! Ulti on top. The TP support came the second they could, but what fast reaction times. Like we were 0 for 4 at one stage, now we're back to 4 for 5. TSG, they set the pace.
You know, I don't even know what to say right now. I got to be honest. I mean, TSG, they looked like they really kind of got caught off guard there by Druid's really aggressive play early in the game. But the only way to counter that aggressiveness is to be aggressive yourself. And that's exactly what TSG has done. They said, we're not going to let you dominate this bottom lane anymore. We're going to get in there. We're going to put our heroes in there and make sure that you know that we mean business. This top lane has basically been empty over the last 4 minutes. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot going on there. We see Loda now playing that Predator. He's been actually getting a little bit of farm, which is probably some of the reason why TSG has been able to take over some of those team fights. I'm not sure exactly how long he's been up there, but it seems like he's been up there for at least the last part of the team fight. Actually, we see the Fissure stun coming out here now. Valkyrie putting a little bit of auto attack damage onto him. So if they're able to shut down Loda here, though, early on in the game, as now we see Glacius taking a little bit down at the bottom, he's in a deep, deep trouble. Pestilence going to be able to finish him off. So, now TSG, they really take the initiative, and it's up to DrDz to respond.
Yeah, that they definitely do. It is actually locked at 5 apiece now, but they have been targeting their support hero. Glacius has died a couple of times already. Now running up to the top. The Fissure just on the wrong side. The Call of Valk has gone down. He does actually still have the Javelin up his sleeve. I don't think he might use it yet. He's waiting for the right time here. Predator's got enough vision to actually avoid that 1-2, and he also, of course, munches on one of the trees to get his life back up again. Valk fires off those boots, wants to get around the corner, wants to actually get on top of this Predator who is trying to farm here on the top. Tries a Javelin, hanging around the back there, doesn't come up with the goods. If it did hit, it would have been magical, but Predator just moving himself around, and all props here to the Valk, trying to move himself around, trying to actually get into a position where that you can't see the Javelin coming, and still get that long range on the back of it, because once you get that stun off there, it's almost like they're stalking Loda. Look at him go straight in there, pushing him back. You're not going to farm, and now the Force TP supports come in here, Hellbringer returning to the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, that if Papa Drake had aimed that arrow a little bit further to the left and made him run a little bit closer to the tower, they probably could have trapped him in. Actually, we are seeing some initiation here at the top lane, as now Valkyrie taking quite a bit of harass. I don't know if she's going to be able to survive through this death boil, however, regardless of how she is going to be going down there. So she does throw the stun arrow out, but to no avail. She's going to go down herself. So really good support there from Hellbringer and Loda. I mean, they're able to definitely support each other right there, as now Malvis did end up coming out. So unfortunately, that will not be able to be used in the event that TSG decides to start some sort of team fight up here at the top lane.
But they can still push it on this tower, and of course we do actually have our Tempest, who has been farming it, only just hit level 6 now, pushing that top tower. Glimp fires off. He can literally literally create an army very, very fast. So Malphus actually taking the creep wave, allowing them to do so, as we see Lolda diving as the Predator back past the lane. The conversions have actually come up now. They are hitting the tower, so they don't actually respawn themselves up, so they're actually getting hit by that creep wave. They are dying left, right, and centre, so still moving on through. And, well, they can't push that tower. Good scrambling defense.
Yeah, for a 3 versus 1, Diminished Shaman handled that.
And we are actually now back here. Stream has come back up again, so apologies for that one. But you are getting to see this grand final. Nothing much actually happened since it actually went down. Still 5 to 6, 13 minutes and 38 seconds into this game so far. So if we want to actually review everything that's happened so far, look at the early game, look at the mid, look at the way the teams have changed. What would be the big summary, Phil?
Well, I mean, the summary is that both teams want to play aggressively. Actually, we see Chipper throwing that ultimate out, not necessarily on Arachna, but trying to take those creep kills out. However, Arachna running right across it for some reason and drops her below half health. In literally the 1 second that she was in there, it dropped her to half health.
That's a lot.
But, you know, the summary of this game thus far has been aggressive. There's just been so much aggressive play throughout the entire game by both teams. DrDz, they definitely had the advantage going into it. And TSoG, they've definitely done a great job of coming back. So both teams, I would consider this game to be even right now. The Hellborn team, DrDz, they do have a bit of an experienced gold lead. Actually, it looks like we might be seeing some more action as Tempest comes in up here on top. Valkyrie taking quite a bit of damage.
Oh!
Call of the Valkyrie is going to go off. Going to be able to take out Tempest with her, but Hellbringer is going to be able to rack up that kill. So a 1-for-1 exchange, not too bad. Considering it is keeping Tempest from picking up that portal key. And actually, Tempest going for a Guardian ring, maybe looking to build a mana ring or even Ring of the Teacher here before the portal key. So that's kind of an interesting strategy.
I don't know why you actually do that, especially with Glacius on the field, but I just want to prop out the fissure that came out from there from Behemoth. You couldn't have locked him in a better position. And Valk, he did have to take a step back there, but he was dying in the process too, so we just tried to bring him down and did so successfully, going down with the ship. But just still fantastic support work coming out here. That's a big thing we've seen so far. Chipper now, Invis Rune up on the top now. Look for that initiation. Hellbringer still sitting in the sides here. So Chipper not actually scouting out around the corner, which I would have expected from him at the moment, as Behemoth just regenerating that mana, hanging on back, waiting for the right time. And now Chipper actually bumping into Tempest as well as Glacius. 4 heroes on the top. They're ready to push. Look for that TP support. And I don't think it's actually coming just yet, but Chipper's waiting there. His ultimate is back up again. Ready to rock and rumble. They're moving themselves down to the tower. The Malphus comes down the back of Valkyrie, blowing the fire on the back of him. Arrow flies back up again. Chipper ulti rips them up through the mid side, pushing them back now. All 4 heroes managing to actually retreat though with what a fantastic defense, scrambling that defense out for the Legions, and really DrDz weren't ready for that one. DrDz, they had the numbers to push in there, but just that one invis allowed them to prepare, being ready to actually go. Oh, what's Shaman doing up there? He's throwing his life away at the moment. Support does come up. Fissure up, rockets on the back of Glacius, goes on down. Valk actually moving himself down into the river, and Demented Shaman, I thought he was throwing his life away, but I think that was possibly the best bait I've seen.
Actually, we see some more initiation here at the top river as now Predator going in on Valkyrie. Valkyrie going to use that leap in an excellent position to be able to get out of there. However, that's not going to stop Hellbringer from taking down, who was it? I believe it's Demented Shaman. And now Chipper in quite a bit of trouble himself. He's definitely going to be going down. Predator going to be able to use that leap and get the kill on him. So, altogether, Drew is doing a really, really good job despite that successful tower defense at the beginning. They're coming right back in here doing a little bit of tower diving, but able to get the kills out, and they're going to be able to take this tower down. As we do see the stun arrow come out, however, looked like Predator was able to use that Stonehide shortly before it hit, and he's going to be just fine, and they're all going to be able to get out. So overall, very, very good showing from DrDz there at the top lane. Yeah,
that definitely was, because while all this was actually happening, Pestilence hasn't even moved from that bottom lane, as he's actually going to TP himself back in towards the base as well now, with obviously we've got Glacius as well as Predator moving on down there. But it is a concern sometimes. Like you have a chat to these guys and they go, okay, we don't mind heroes dying, especially if we can push another lane, but no other lanes are currently being pushed. No other advantage has been given by this one. They scramble the defense. They tried to bait and tried to get a couple of kills. They did so successfully, but the battle just ranged on a little bit too long, and DrDz just turned it around to their advantage. And that's something which we really love seeing in this game itself. Is just the shift of balance. It keeps changing. It keeps being dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, just take a look at the creep scores right now. We see that we have basically 4 heroes on DrDz's team that are around the 50 creep kill mark. The only one that's not, is Glacius, obviously, who's 7 and 9. But even the lowest, other than him, is that Hellbringer with 43. Meanwhile, there's only 3 heroes with near that kind of score, and both Predator and Arachno are far and away farming much better than Pestilence and Valkyrie are. So, I mean, I think TSG really needs to take a step back maybe and focus on getting some better creep kills and basically just increasing their farm as they approach the mid game.
Yeah, that is definitely exactly what they're going to do. Oh, Tempest caught out here. Chip is on top of it. The ulti did just rip him down. Now, actually, the rocket's still firing up. It hits the real one! Out of all three, how could you hit the real one? That's like finding 1 in a million. And now Tempest can control his illusions, and that's literally all he can do now.
There has been some absolute great play thus far today. I mean, every time you think somebody's down, they just seem to come back and really impress you there. Hellbringer now taking a look towards this bottom area, the bottom rune area. Not sure what he's going to do. I'm not sure if we're going to see any kind of initiation here on Predator, as he actually has the swarm on him now. Looks like Pestilence putting the swarm on him once again. Demented Shaman looking in there to get that entangle off, however, not being able to necessarily get that off, especially when you're playing against a Predator with that stone hide. Although it is physical, I believe. The entangle is physical.
Yes.
So the stone hide not really going to help him there too much. Meanwhile, it looked like Behemoth trying to push his top lane, working towards that portal key, not able to get it. At the same time, Predator maybe looking to initiate here. Especially with the addition of Arachna to this bottom lane. But overall, the game has had its little spurts of action, but for the most part, it seemed to have slowed down quite a bit.
It has actually slowed down, but you also notice, like we were talking about towers before, we've just lost 2. 2 of the Hellborn towers now down. The top tower is being pressured and has been pressured the entire game. And now Malphas coming off in the middle here. They're pushing the guys back. And big use of an ulti from Hellbringer. I know the cooldown isn't that massive, but it's still one of those guys you want to have on there. I got a funny feeling that Drew is now scrambling to actually keep control of this map. There was one big thing we heard very, very early out here from TSG. They said, we want to control this map. Take out those tier 1 towers, move yourself around, keep our boys up, roam ourselves around, and do nothing, just roam, keep the lanes pushed, keep the heroes back, and just stop this farm. And I'm pretty sure that's the main reason Tempest actually half came in as well, to actually try to give this type of counter push, and it was also the push on the bottom lane. But 2 tier 1 towers going down. We've only lost 1 here from the Legion side, and the next tower is actually being pressured here on the bottom. Arachna is pushing it down here, while top's being pinged up. It's just Valkyrie moving up there, but they've got to move themselves down, and in comes the Fissure, takes care of the creep wave. TP support now going back again. Predator going towards the bottom. Arachna TPing up towards the top there. They might have a bit of a crack at Valkyrie, but probably not. She's going to fall back, and everything's going to be hunky-dory for them just there. But just scrambling that defense. Just look to see TSG carrying those homecoming stones around to make sure they can keep those tier 1 towers up and just basically keep that pressure on Druids to make them make the mistakes.
Well, I mean, do you want to have that map control? I mean, that's what it all comes down to. I mean, just taking a look at some of the ward placements, it is basically we're looking at minute 1 type ward places or placement. You know what I mean? Everything is basically they're still concerned about rune control. They're still concerned about the access to their own jungle, and that all makes sense. Actually, we do see some counter warding happening down here as they were able to take out a ward successfully at the bottom rune. But actually, we might be seeing some sort of a push here at the middle lane, and they could really use that, especially if they're able to take out since they were already able to take out the
double
top tower.
TP.
However, we do see double TPs coming in, so now 4 heroes there. There's the Chipper ultimate coming out, making sure that nobody really gets too close to that tower. Honestly, the Chipper ultimate, one of those ultimates that you can kind of throw away every once in a while. I mean, you talked about the Hellbringer ultimate, the cooldown's low, but the cooldown's still a little bit over 2.5 minutes for that Hellbringer ultimate. Yeah. You don't want to just waste that. Chipper ultimate, a little bit different. You talk about 50-second cooldown. I mean, you can kind of throw that one away every once in a while. But, I was going to say, really poor use, in my opinion, of that Hellbringer ultimate to begin with. I mean, it's still on cooldown now, so if they chose to initiate here at this point, I mean, they would be without that ultimate.
Yeah, that definitely would. And the Malphas ulti, like, so many people don't realize just how much of a good initiation that actually is. And to be without that one, you see that go, and then you go, yes, now we can push. And they haven't actually done the push, but they've literally kept all those lanes back on the opposite side of the river. And there's been very, very few times where TSG have actually had to take out a creep wave on their side of the river. It's always coming off differently. Chipper now moving up towards the top here as the top tower actually gets denied. What tower was that actually being denied just there? Was that?
That was the bottom tower on Hellborn's side. The Hellborn bottom tower.
I thought we already lost that before. Never mind. Meanwhile, back at the range. The top tower actually being pushed here. Valk's up there. Shaman's there. Chipper's there. Behemoth's there. TP support's coming up. They're about to hit that tower. Tempest is the one TPing in there. Tempest still very, very low level. Level 9. He will have that ultimate. The tower does go down. It does get destroyed by Papa Drake as well. So extra gold goes toward him. I think it's an extra 200, 300 gold for the back of that one too. 8 to 9. All tier 1 towers now down. TP support coming towards that bottom window. She pushed that one out as well. They might catch it off. Pestilence ulti come on through. Impale on the back of Predator. Going to try and hold him there. Fidger as well. Look for the arrow to come out as Predator still moving back. The Angie did come off. He is still getting harassed now. And Rockets going off on the side. They bring him down. And of course, tier 1 tower not up. And the TP support had to go to the tier 2 tower. And Arachna are a long way off there. Couldn't help their teammate. Levels it up once again. 9 apiece. 23 minutes and 33 seconds in.
Yeah, and I mean, taking a look at what we just saw, now with that event just happening, we saw Pestilence pick up that portal key. And Tempest has just picked up his as well. So we're looking at two teams that are both going to be looking for that initiation. However, I think that if we can get good initiation here on the Legion team, if they can combo that Pestilence stun into the Behemoth ultimate, you could be looking at a bunch of dead little duckies over there on the Hellborn side.
You got to remember the Behemoth ultimate too. He's going to love it whenever Tempest actually creates his conversions because they all buff it. They buff that damage. And I'm actually very, very concerned. Like, you need to get that portkey off. And that ultimate from Tempest, I think, is literally going to make or break this game if he can get enough heroes in it. Because the problem is, you got how many stuns coming out from this lineup? In fact, almost everyone has a stun on the Legion side to actually stop him. He has to channel that black hole. If he gets stunned, it's all over. It doesn't keep going. And, well, everyone comes out of it. They'll keep that damage actually pumping off. And that's going to be a big, big problem. Can Tempest get that initiation? Can they get that initial?
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about that, like, especially when you have a hero like Chipper on the opposite team, a hero that does not have to be anywhere near the fight in order to stop a Tempest ultimate. I mean, those just have a massive range. So, as soon as Tempest uses that ultimate, he's not moving anywhere. He's not going anywhere. So those rockets are going to mini stun. And like I said, he doesn't have to be anywhere close to it. And that'll be the end of that ultimate. So Tempest, perhaps, obviously a great initiator, but perhaps not the best choice for DrDz. It'll all depend on how well Velociraptor is able to pull off some of those ultimates.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Because I just noticed on Arachna, we've got a Whispering Helm on Arachna. Now, I'm not a massive fan of this item, especially early game. We are now into a mid game. We have gone past our 20-minute mark here. But Arachna, I don't want to see that until the 40-minute mark. Get your DPS up. Make yourself a damage shield. That's what you're meant for. But obviously, short on the farm, it is a cheap item to actually get and keep your life steal up. So it does allow you to stay alive during these battles. But there's only so much you can do with it. And it doesn't help your team. It keeps you alive a little bit longer. And literally, with the amount of DPS that's coming out from this Legion side at the moment, that little bit longer is not going to be long. Like, you look at it half a second. And that's not enough time to actually do anything. Ping's going across the middle here as Predator gets done by a massive Valk arrow by the looks of it as well. Rocket's flying in the back of that one too. And just the smiley face is coming out from the fact that Chipper managed to get that one on the back of Predator. So Predator, it's all friendly banter at the moment.
That was pretty much a blind arrow. I think they saw the tail end of Predator coming in here, but catching him with the blind arrow as now they look to make a push at the middle lane. Going to be real interesting to see what happens here. Behemoth, he's actually relatively close to picking up that portal key, or was last time I checked. He's currently sitting at 1,700 gold, so he's getting pretty close. So they don't want to do anything too crazy right here. May even want to concede this tier 1 defensive tower in order to save that gold for Behemoth. They don't want to, obviously sit on his portal key farm since he's just he doesn't really have any innate farming ability, and he really is going to be relying on that item.
They definitely will. Looks like Predator's actually want to actually take things into his own hand, coming in with, of course, his buddies, the Illusion Rune, and very, very fast out there by Papa Drake, jumping on that leap. Thinking about moving on here, as Chipper's still on the back of not only it was actually just the buff from Valk's leap, giving him that extra movement speed coming out. Predator's only pushing that lane now with his illusions, and the rest of the team hanging on back now. They're going to move themselves into the Legion neutrals. So now we're going to see both teams seeing if they can actually take the bull by the horns. Tier 2 tower, Cloud goes up. Chipper wants to try and get on top, but he's still actually only attacking the illusions right now. Bottom tower is actually still down there. Behemoth's down there. No TP on the back of him too. He does actually have the money now, I do believe, for that port key. Has he actually bought it? Is it actually flying out to him?
He still needs 20 more gold.
20 more gold. He's about to get ganked. If they pull off this gank, that port key goes back. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes all moving down towards it. And now 5 heroes here for the Hellborn side. He's walking back to actually get it. And of course, by the time he does get there, the standard income will come there. Double TP coming towards the bottom. Chippers down there. We now actually have a triple TP. Val came in. Pestilence came in. They're ready to defend this tower. They're going to need Behemoth back. And it's going to take him a while. Porky Malphus initiation straight on top. Pestilence running back.
Wow.
The conversions on the back of him. And Henry actually managed to actually bring down Velociraptor. What the?
Did you see how... apparently you didn't.
I didn't.
Because you're like, what the hell? Wow. Velociraptor playing at Tempest, he disintegrated. Chipper put that ultimate down on him, and it was just like this, oh, hey, guys, I'm here. Whoop, and gone. Whoop, and gone. That was just what it was like. I mean, it was just absolutely... Wow. Tempest disappeared. You know, I mean... Really, really great ultimate placement thus far from this Chipper. I mean, he's put it in places where he can really help to defend towers. He put it in a place where, after Pestilence came in and stunned, basically Pestilence body blocked him, and Tempest had no other option other than to get destroyed while sitting on top of that Chipper ultimate. So, Chipper being played by Henry D, who played that Pebbles last game, doing an absolutely phenomenal job this game as well.
Yeah, they definitely is. All these guys, their skill level is just so high. Like I can't believe that TSG doesn't have a massive fan base with what they're pulling out at the moment, with what they're managing to do. There should be a fan club. Where is their fan club? I might actually consider starting one up now if a shoutcaster should actually be neutral.
I think the fan club might be located at this table right now.
It is possible. It is actually growing. But, of course, there is a massive fan club for, of course, the Druid boys. They're not out of this. No one's out of this. No one's actually in this just yet. Everything's going both ways. We're just seeing some amazing, amazing Hon play.
And now we see initiation from here from Predator using that Stone High, trying to make sure he doesn't do anything. There's a pretty good fissure block, not going to be quite enough to keep him in there. Now they might be looking to counter initiate here, as both Pestilence and Portal Key do have, or Pestilence and Behemoth both have their Portal Keys. Wow, looks like Valk is going to be ulting and they're actually going to use that to get out of there. I thought they might actually use it to initiate. However, probably the better choice. I mean, the less amount of time you can fight at an enemy's tower, the better off you are.
Yeah.
So.
And they've gone straight back and farming it, because that was actually a very, very smart move too. Tempest moved himself inside the trees, was ready to porky right on top of him. You wouldn't even see him coming in. They had no vision for it. And now the push will come towards that Tier 1 tower. It's down there on the bottom lane. They're rallying behind it at the moment. They're not actually rallying at the tower, which is always a little bit disturbing for them, as wars actually being placed down here. What a fantastic war, just from Glaciers, keeping tabs on what's moving around the back here, so they can actually get this Tier 1 tower with the fewest casualties. In they come. They just drop it from the sky. It is, of course, Tempest coming in. Now Predator jumping across the top of it too. Where's the defense? Now Behemoth. In he comes. Oldie's up. Lola's the first one to get the kill, but they're still not quite finished yet. The fidgets are coming off. The tower has gone down. Arachne killing on the left-hand side. 2 down for other side. Make that 3 for the Legion side, with Behemoth joining the list of the dead here. Chipper's in. Oldie goes up. Malphus comes up. Perfect timing. They waited for that one. Now the Chipper Oldie actually coming up, and they're falling the Chipper back. They're still coming on the back of it, and Pestilence, no mana for a stun. Chipper's got to take that. The slow does come on. Predator getting rocketed. He is on fire, pushing him back. Chipper's on the back of it. Malphus will come in and make a big buffer. The rocket flying just a little bit higher there, but 3 heroes actually going down for the Legion side, and we did lose 2 for the Hellborn during that one, but Tier 1 tower down. That was the goal here for our Legion side of the Druids.
You know, I don't know if I completely agree with them even trying to defend that bottom tower. They knew that the 2 heroes that both Chipper and I believe it was and Valkyrie had ported back from the top lane, so they weren't, they still had about a 20-second cooldown left on their TPs, and they weren't able to get in there. So honestly, it probably would have been better for them to try to concede that Tier 1 tower and cut your losses and then make up for it with a team fight when you have your entire team there. On the other hand, they were able to take out, I believe Arachne went down. I'm not sure. Maybe she didn't go down. Let me check real quick.
No, I don't think she actually stayed up.
She did. It looks like she did stay up. I mean, so really the only people who went down were Glacius and Tempest, which, I mean, you'll take that any day to get a near genocide and a tower kill. But, I mean, like I said, I really think that there could have been I think it would have been smarter for them to just concede that tier 1 tower.
It's one of those times when you go, we can guess it now, but just a little bit of a lack of communication. That's the land scene for you, though. It definitely does change perspective of what's actually happening around you. And it's one of those mistakes. It might cost them a game, but I think it has actually just leveled up both sides now. We are locked at 12 apiece here, so even though there's been an action-packed game, the kills aren't rolling in. It's literally just been these amazing battles, amazing skill levels coming out. Valk now pushing this top lane as well. One thing we actually haven't looked at is, of course, the massive items coming up here. Valk moving up. Look at Tempest come straight up there. Massive TP comes straight up there. The double stun and Arachna ulti. Valk is going absolutely nowhere. Bar down, and great time to port up there. The Tempest continuous stun coming off there. Valk thought it was going to be good. Could have TP'd out a little bit faster. Could have actually leaped in a little bit further there. But Papa Dre caught, well, not caught napping, but just caught slightly out of position.
Well, I mean, this is the thing that we were talking about before. In fact, they seem to be suffering from the same thing that DrDz was last time, where they have...
We've actually got to interrupt you too on the bottom lane. Predator's actually trying to have a bit of go here. Shaman and Pestilence, they might get on top. Chippers come in. Demented Shaman's on very, very low HP. They're trying to track him down. He does get the kill, but Predator should sacrifice his life. Rockets flying out, and Henry does actually get the last hit in the back of that one too. So a bit of tit for tat during that one. He gets a little bit back from the Valk kill, but they did actually lose their Demented Shaman during that one too. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm obvious. In my opinion, that's probably the better takedown. I mean, losing Valkyrie and Demented Shaman for Predator, especially how farm Predator is right now. He's already got the Insanitarius. He already has that Frostburn. So I mean, he's got some pretty big items at this point. Honestly, I think though. This Legion team, as far as team fights is concerned, if they can, like I said, if they can initiate, they probably have a little bit of a bigger edge on them if they can initiate and pull all their ultimates off in a key location. At the same time, I think if Predator decides to go for something like a Shrunken Head here to combo in with his Stone Hide, that he will be a real force to be reckoned with. I know a lot of people might consider that to be a little bit. Overkill, to already have that magic immunity and the additional armor. But I mean, honestly, against a team like this, can you really have enough magic immunity? I
don't think you can. I think the big thing is also these battles don't just last for 5 seconds. They last longer. You need to actually keep it chained up there too. So it's definitely the best idea you could possibly have for him right now. We do actually have finally seen, we've seen, what was that? I don't actually pronounce it correctly, but basically the Replicate, it is of course coming on through. Is now Kongor actually having a go. Is Predator really going to try this by himself? Counterball is actually coming out here. DrDz actually getting rid of those. Now they're going to move for the Kongor. Are they going to be ready for this one? Tower has been pushed here. I've got a funny feeling that TSoG are going to let them take it. They're going to move themselves up on this top lane, let them take that one, push it out. Kongor is taking them a while to actually bring down. They're taking a lot of damage to do so too. Even if they want to TP towards the top to actually bring this, to actually stop this push, they're not going to be able to do it. Kongor is going down. Top tower is being pushed. Creep wave is gone. 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes all up there on the top lane. They are scrambling back now. They will finally bring down Kongor. Or have they? They're still doing it. Now finally Kongor takes the fall. So does the tier 2 tower up there on the top. And even with that token of life now in the hands of the Hellborn side, I'm pretty sure TSoG are going to go, that's a sacrifice worth making.
Well, I mean, they do have that ability to keep a hero alive after one death, obviously, and so the token ends up going on to Predator. But at the same time, you really just have to kind of consider the fact that this early in the game, a token... I mean, obviously, we're actually getting ready to approach the late game here, or near the late game, as we are at the 35-minute mark, or 36-minute mark, sorry.
Time flies when you're having fun, hey?
Yeah, I guess. But it's like I said, at this point, that token probably not going to make or break the game.
No.
I mean, if they're able to, in fact... If they're able to steal that token away from Predator by putting out a gank on him or something like that and completely negate its usefulness, I mean, that would be really awesome for TSG. And at the same time, some of the levels on the Legion side are still low enough that if they're able to pull off a team fight, and even if they lose further up in their lane, they'll definitely still be able to respawn and defend any kind of tower pushes that would happen.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, you can't push in right now, and I think map position is the only thing that they want to actually gain. It's what TSG said they want to get before this one. They're coming in, and now even have a look. It's a little bit more of a DrDz. Are they actually wanting to actually do that one? They're coming on through, and I think they're thinking about putting the ward down there, but Glazier's assigned to actually fall back because they've actually found Chipper. Chipper's actually got caught here between Arachna and between Predator, tried to drop the ulti, got the kill, but 4 heroes to actually bring down that Chipper, so they're still moving themselves around inside that Legion neutrals, and now this is kind of half what we actually saw last time. The Hellborn pushed them back because the Hellborn at that time were TSG, and TSG found themselves on the back defense. Valk ulti now going off, hoping to get some sort of initiation off here. Mouth is actually coming on down on the front lines, very, very early actually coming off. They didn't actually get the stun off, and now they're finally coming on through. Demented Shaman will go down from this one. Mouth is still going off. The Black Hole has come off. They're holding them in place. The Glazier's holding in the back of that too. Almost genocide. Valk's the only one left. There are multiples of them to choose from. In the end, they will find the real one, or will they actually not? No, the real one has fallen back there, but 4 heroes down. Big push. Great timing there, and of course the ulti from Tempest catching so many heroes.
Well, I mean, that's what we were talking about there. We saw the attempted combo coming through from Pestilence, especially with the Valkyrie ult being used right there. Unfortunately, really good reaction there from the team in order to move those heroes out to make sure that the Behemoth ultimate did not do nearly as much damage as it possibly could have. Valkyrie, she probably could have been a little more present in that team fight, but at the same time, you got to really hand it to DrDz. They did an absolutely phenomenal job of making sure that they could get in there, complete that team fight, and at the same time, Loda did not lose that token.
Yeah, he didn't lose that token. He lives yet to live another day, would you believe? Look at see that the defense on bottom. It held the tier 3 tower. It is very, very low, so when the next push actually comes down, that one, it will be very, very concerning for them. But now, counter push, straight off the cup. They don't want to get caught on the back foot. They want to get themselves out. The 3 heroes, Chipper, Valk, Behemoth. We've actually got Pestilence. He's running in behind. He's like the runt of the litter, trying to catch up now. Valk takes out that creep wave. A bit of a call, and then everything else just goes down. Shaman still showing himself very, very quickly here. And look at the scrambling defense coming on back now. No one's down at the moment here. So with DrDz boys just trying to get themselves up, ready to push on through. Tier 2 tower. Now the focus of the Valk, who has popped off the Bane and wants to actually try and push it down. They do get the tower too. The Deny did try to come through, but not on there as Predator jumps on through. Actually managed to actually bring down one of the TSG guys. Now they're focusing on the Pestilence. Pestilence in a lot of trouble. Even putting off the Impal. Getting near absolutely no one, but Papa Dre going on down, pushing on the back. He's leaping himself away. Shaman as well as Pestilence has gone down. And, actually Chipper, he's TPing. Is there a stun? Can they stop it? No, they can't. He actually gets himself out of that one. Everyone is around there. Everyone uses it. As Behemoth goes on in, tries to actually pull off one kill there, but Predator, he was very, very close to death. In fact, he's still actually going on down there, but will actually survive. But Tempest, as well as our Glaciers, going on down that one. Behemoth ult just coming straight on in.
Well, this game is still really difficult to call because, I mean, we do see that there is a massive experience in gold lead in favor of DrDz right now. However, TSG, they're not letting it, they're not really letting that get to them. They are doing their best to make these pushes on these towers.
Arachna caught out. Valk caught it. Arachna was farming. Chipper came in, and, Arachna's got 75 seconds in the sin bin. What a big kill. Just to pull it out. What a gang. That's what you were hoping for on Predator before with the token of life, but in the end, it's Arachna going down.
Well, I mean, the thing is there's still 4.5 minutes left on that token, before it gets reclaimed by Kongor, and if they're able to make a successful push here in the middle lane to take out this tower, looks like they're actually going to deny this bottom tower finally, as it had just received enough damage to be done so. But if they're able to make a successful push and utilize, maybe even use up. I mean, if they're able to keep that token through a tower push here at the middle lane, that would be phenomenal for DrDz. But, I mean, they do have it still, so I'm looking for them to push this middle lane hard. Although they may end up actually just going for the bottom lane and going in straight for the racks now that tower's been taken out.
I don't know if they can do it though. Like you got to drum. Like it's not just the fact the tower is there and you got to bring down the racks. Mm-hmm. You've also got to fight from the low to the high. and that's not an easy thing to do. It's literally, you have the upper advantage when you come on through. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi says to Anakin Skywalker at the end, TobiWanKenobi doing a Star Wars quote, I literally have the higher ground. You can't win this kind of jazz. And it is possible. It is possible to still win it. You can still push it on. They do actually finally have their Arachna back now, and they're ready to push this Tier 2 tower in the middle lane, firing off those rockets, giving it a bit of a mini stun on the back of Predator, also doing the damage, and trying to take out this creep wave. Big fissure on the back of it too. Predator tanking that tower. Now will finally fall back now. The token of life is still up, and he still has so much life as well that the bonus life he actually gets is it's hard to bring him down. He's a pain in the butt as it is, let alone actually having the token of life, life steal being a natural thing for him, and just coming on through. 4 heroes ready to push out this middle. Hellbringer, his ult is ready to go too, so the initiation is there if they want to do it. They're waiting for the right time. Tempest now building himself up a little bit of an army of elementals, waiting for the right time, taking out those Earth Chocks, so they're on the receiving end of that one. So TSG, it's not as though they've lost their focus. They're still, whenever a team battle comes around, they're ready to find out. Their options are just being very, very limited here by Druids.
Yeah, actually, Predator being played by Loda, he's actually now picking up a Warp Clef, so doing his best to increase that attack speed, which is going to be, for a hero like Predator who has that innate ability to have that lifesteal, is just going to be something that's going to make him even harder to take down. So I would not be surprised to see him try to turn that into a demonic breastplate here and really, really increase the amount of DPS he's putting out.
Yeah, they definitely will. Arrow flying out there, hoping, doesn't actually hit anything bar a creep. Because now you look at this battle. It's about to happen here on the bottom racks here of the Legion side. Predator's going to be the first one in. Try and make the most of it. Let him die early. Let him get himself back up, because while this is happening, the top lane is still being pushed out by a Sand Legion wave. So they want to try and delay this one, but Malva's coming on down. They want to finish this early. Coming on down. Everything's hitting off. Now the ulti from Tempest is pulling everybody in. Lola picks up a double tap onto it. Hat-trick even coming off, pushing them all back. Valk leaps himself away. The ulti did come on down. Pestilence still making his move up here. Valk trying to actually hide up there on the top tower. The quad kill comes off. Chipper, the only one left alive, doing whatever he can in these, literally rocketing out here. They've got to bring down the racks. Once the racks goes down, it's going to be very, very hard. If we do see TG actually come back from this one, it would be epic. But at the moment, they've just, with this bottom racks going down, it's just like they've been kneecapped.
Yeah, honestly, with the amount of items and the level advantage that they have here, I think it's all but over right now for this game as far as TSG is concerned. I mean, it's like you said, it would be absolutely phenomenal. It would be a miracle of God if they were able to come back and win this. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I'm just saying it's very, very unlikely. And TSG, actually, we see that token of life finally being used on Predator as Chipper catches him with a couple rockets there. So now that the token's been used, I mean, but
it has 30 seconds.
It had 30 seconds left on it. I was going to say, so Kongor will be right back up, and you got to expect that with this bottom lane being pushed all the way in, and already having 3 or 4 heroes from Druids on that in that area, they're going to be looking to pick that Kongor kill up once more and make yet another push to end this one.
Yeah, it's just the way to go, because at the moment they control so much of the map. That's the biggest problem. Even if they start going for Kongor, there's no way for the Legion side to really check that. They're just literally like, okay, I'm just going to sit here on the side, and I'm thinking about, are they going Kongor? I'm not quite sure. Fire a rocket, that's probably going to be the only way they can get close enough to actually check it without actually risking too much here. They're cleaning up this mid lane with Chipper in support. Pestilence coming up as well. Kongor is now pinging up, though. I don't think he's actually up. No, he isn't actually up just yet. 45 minutes is on the clock. He'll have a little bit longer to wait before he does actually come up. Now the push, looking to come in. Valk ulti going off. They're going to look for the initiation. They found Predator, and instant portkey up here. They try to bring him down, but he can't get the fissure off. Now the fissure finally goes off here. The Behemoth has been torn up here, inside out. They tried this gank. It's not working for him. Pestilence will go down as well. They're losing heroes left, right, and center. They did claim Tempest, but now they'll also lose the Demented Shaman. Predator on the back. He got to this point of the game. He is beefed. He is tanked. He is killing absolutely everyone, and they actually made it 4-2, killing off one more before it, and now the mid push will come. If they take this mid, the GG will come out. There is one hero once again left alive. Chipper is the only one. He's firing off these rockets to try and slow the advance here of the Hellborn side, and Hellbringer doesn't even care. He didn't have to use his ulti during that one. He's going to come in towards this middle lane, push it out here, and Valk has actually respawned up now too. Papa Drac is now back up here, so it is now a 2v5 situation coming on into here, and 2v4. Tempest still on the sidelines as well. They might hold them off. Papa Drake, he's there. We'll see the call come down. And in the yes, they are. Then said, though, Kongor's back up. They'll claim that one while the pieces are being picked up here by TSG.
Yeah, taking a look at the levels here, I mean, some of the levels don't seem to be so messed up until you take a look at Predator and Arachna right now. I mean, they're both level 22, which is, you know, what is it? I'm looking at 3 or 4 levels higher than the highest level, which is that Valkyrie. The other problem here is that TSG, they don't have any true carry. I mean, they got Pestilence, who, when farmed correctly, can carry relatively well, but he is semi-carry at best. He's more of an initiator ganker type hero. You know, and he requires a ton of farm, similar to Predator, actually, you know, if you want him to carry into the late game. However, they have Predator, who is a very hard carry / initiator, and that Arachna has a superb amount of farm on her as well. So there's honestly, I think TSG is delaying the inevitable here, as yet again we see Predator leaping in here. He's being very, very ballsy. He's on a bloodbath right now, taking out that behemoth. He's going to actually get taken out here for his the token of life, but that's going to respawn him. And he's going to come back with all abilities and all full health and mana. Actually, he gets stunned relatively quickly. There's the Chipper ultimate doing quite a bit of damage actually to him, and there's a hat trick coming out from Ixu. There's the GG's coming out. We're going to see the vote to concede here, and looks like DrDz going to be able to take this one away, forcing the game 3. Guys, wow, Toby, what do you think about this game, and what do you think that TSG has to do to get back into it?
TSG, like, they came up with a surprise the first time. They were aggressive, and DrDz have just come back saying, you know, we can outpush you. You want to control our farm. We're going to control the lanes. Push it back with the Tempest picks. If TSG want to try and keep this sort of strat going, if they want to try and control the farm of LoD, if they want to try and actually control the farm of the entire team and the income of the entire team of Druids, they're going to have to somehow control the map. Get the bands up there for the heroes which can push back. Take out your heroes like Hellbringer. Take out your heroes like Tempest. But if you do that kind of stuff, then you open yourself up to a whole different can of worms. And I don't actually know what they can do. That is the big thing. Unless they just literally try and play a basic style of Hon game, if you do dare say, and go for the center picks. Sure, be aggressive, but also do it very, very conservatively as well. It's the only thing really open up for them right now. But even then, them to Druids, if they can shut down Loader, we'll wait and see. If Druids try something different, we'll wait and see. These guys, they have a couple of minutes to think about what they're going to do, and then we'll come back here for the third game.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this game. I'm Phil from Honcast, and joining me was TobiWanKenobi of Gamesta, and we will be right back with you guys probably in about 5 to 10 minutes when they start this next game up. So make sure you guys stay tuned here to Honcast.com, because we're going to be bringing Game 3 of the finals for the Swedish tournament. The winner will be going to, I believe it's Shanghai, China.
You are quite correct. Free trip.
Free trip.
Big
All right,
tournament.
guys. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back.